Hello my beautiful bookish friends, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing an overdue book haul. I've only done one book haul this year. One. Mostly because I haven't really been I haven't really been buying a lot of books. I've been reading a lot of what I have. So the only books I've been getting are like book of the month books. But I have amassed some books because I have done some book shopping. So let's talk about what I have. I think I have about 30 books here, 25 to 30. So the first one was my book of the month pick for the month of May, and that was The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. If you saw I think I did a reading vlog. I either did a vlog or was in my wrap up where I said this is one of my most surprising reads of the year because it ended up being one of my favorite books thus far. Not that I dislike Christina Lauren, sometimes her writing is just okay to me. Or I should say their writing because it's a partnership. But this is a fake dating heir kind of romance. Like, he's not a billionaire, but he has a trust fund because his parents have money. And he's trying to live like an academic lifestyle and they're not down for it. So it's very light, it's very fun. When I got it, I only really got it because it was a Christina Lauren and this was the only pick that really sounded interesting to me. But I'm happy I got it and it was really good. So next one I also read and I think has been my absolute favorite book of the year, and that is Done and Dusted. This is the Rebel Blue Ranch series. This is the first book in the series and also my first like Western cowboy ranch sort of romance. I loved this book. It is about Clementine, who comes back home after sustaining a pretty serious injury while being a barrel racer. And when she comes back to the ranch, the boy that has been friends with her brothers is there and he works there, and she used to have a big crush on him, and now that they're older, there's a bit of an age gap. I think it's like 4 or 5 years. They kind of realize that they might like each other. I loved this as a romance, and if you are someone who doesn't want a third act breakup, this is the book for you, and it's part of the reason why I got it. The next one is kind of out of left field for me. I did have it on my list, I think, of books, or maybe I just saw it and was intrigued by it, and it is Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. I know nothing about this book other than there's a werewolf involved and a witch, and there's like 6 books in this series. I don't know if it's like a true series or interconnected standalones. However, I don't know a lot about it and I'm okay with that. I just needed something different in my life and this sounded like it would fit the bill. And the cover's pretty, so this is what I went with. I think it's a forbidden romance because it says like Evie has obeyed the house rules of her coven, no werewolves. So I think it's gonna be like maybe like a forbidden mate situation. I don't know, we'll see, but it sounded good for Halloween time. In that same trip, I did get a graphic novel. I got Hallow, and this is a Headless Horseman retelling. Isabel Crane and her family have relocated to Sleepy Hollow, so I think it's just more so of a, yeah, it's kind of like a continuation modern day thing. The art style though really intrigued me, and I think it's YA. Like, it just seemed like a good spooky time, so I got it. Like I said, I went in blind with a lot of books that I got recently, so you know, like, it just looks kind of cute and fun. I also got the Lost Ones. This is the second book in the new Disney Press series. It's all about like the siblings. You're gonna hear Athena's toy. It's all about like the siblings in Disney. Like, the first one was the Wicked Ones, and that was the stepsisters from Cinderella, and this is supposed to be like Captain Hook's lost twin, I guess. Or yeah, there were 2 siblings seeking a home. So it's about him and his sister, who I guess is kind of like long lost. I just thought it was cool. I love the cover of these. They're all, it's made from like cut paper, or made to look like from cut paper. But yeah, so I'm gonna give this a go and continue on with this series. It's called the Dark Ascension series. The graphic novel I got was The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich. Again, I don't know anything about this. I just saw the title and the art style and really liked it. It looks cute. It looks kind of in the same family as The Prince and the Dressmaker. I think it's similar in terms of like found family, found identity, and all of that stuff. So I might give it a go. If not, at least it's a cute little cover that I may like. I did get Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood to continue on in her STEMinist series. I just heard Mel talk about this one because I really didn't know anything about it other than the fact that it was an Ali Hazelwood. I guess the female main character in this is working to try and make perishable food last longer. So that's an interesting kind of side we haven't seen before, like the food science stuff. So I'm gonna give it a go. We'll see how I feel about it because I know she's doing like a sports romance next. But Ali Hazelwood is a great author, so I'm gonna keep buying her stuff. The next two books are part of the Ruinous Love trilogy, and I read them both. We have Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark. So this one you have two serial killers who are kind of working together but also against each other to catch other killers and end them. So kind of vigilante sort of people. And then you have the brother from one of the brothers from the first one with the best friend from the first one doing a marriage of convenience fake relationship to save both of them from a hitman. Another pick from book of the month that I have not read and don't know anything about is One Star Romance. All I know is I think she's a writer and he gives her book a 1-star review. And she's not happy about it. Then I bought a bunch of Geronimo Stilton. Some I have read, some I haven't. So I have book number 41, 58, and 67. One of my anticipated releases, The Au Pair Affair, which I surprisingly have not read yet. This is a Tessa Bailey. This is her next one in the sports romance world. And this was supposed to be a duology, but I guess it's going to be a trilogy now. She just announced there's a third book coming. And I think it's another hockey one, but it's different than this. So yeah, I know that these two are mentioned in their story is set up in Fangirl Down. So you do kind of have to read it, I think. I'm sure we'll recap it in here somewhere, potentially, maybe. But the main thing is she is going to be his nanny because he is a single dad. And, well, I think he splits custody, but for some reason he has like majority custody. Something happened with the mom. And he basically runs into her through his friends, who's the golfer in the first one, and asks her if, you know, they're going to be living in the same city. And she says, yeah. And he's like, well, you can come live at my house and be my nanny and you'll have no expenses. And she's like, okay, done. Then I also picked up 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson. This is the last one in the Ellingham Academy series. I really liked Box in the Woods, and some people said that this one didn't need to happen because Box in the Woods was kind of the perfect wrap up. But this is Stevie's senior year at Ellingham Academy, and her friends are going to college and she's just kind of not sure what she wants to do. So she ends up working another case in London. So this is a little bit of a longer one. I guess there's like 7 suspects and 2 murders and there's another sort of game. So I'm sure I'll fly through this one, but this is the end of this series and I'm sad to let it go. But I'm excited to see how she finishes it. 2 more in that same kind of YA mystery realm that I already finished, but I did pick up were Good Girl Bad Blood and As Good as Dead. I talked about these in my wrap up and I had thoughts and opinions, and that's all I will say. I got another Geronimo Stilton. This is number 44 and number 51. I'm just kind of filling in the gaps in where I have like where I'm missing in my collection because I buy them secondhand, so I have a lot of random numbers. Another anticipated release for me that I picked up was Killed Beast by Serena Valentino. This is Gaston's story. This is the 11th book in her villain series. And the Beast already had his story. Like, we already figured out what was going on with him. and he's not really a villain, so I'm interested to see where this one goes, especially with the last one. The last book was Hades, and it was Hades kind of explaining that all the stories have been interconnected all along, which you kind of started to figure out. Like, you knew most of them were, but he really shows how every single one, even the current, more like current day ones, are connected. So I'm interested to see where this goes. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. I really don't know what this one's about at all, and where it falls in the timeline, because these are kind of set up like the Infinity Saga, where the first 3 kind of fit, but then the other ones are kind of mixed in, so you could read them in different orders and have a very different experience. The last 3 are all from my latest book of the month. Oh, I skipped one, and I knew I was gonna skip it. I got another graphic novel, and it's Victor and Nora, A Gotham Love Story. I talked about it in my wrap-up because I did read it, but it is a DC YA graphic novel of Mr. Freeze and his first girlfriend as a teenager and how he became who he is. Super good, super sad. Some trigger warnings there for sure. But then I got the Ornithologist Field Guide to Love. I don't know a lot about this, but Olivia Reads a Latte recommended it. She just read it, and there's some sort, like, ornithologists hunt through England for a rare magical bird in this historical fantasy rom-com. It's Indiana Jones, but with manners, tea, helicopters, and parasols. Some people say it's kind of like The Mummy as well in terms of like the rom-com parts of it. So we're going to give it a go. If nothing else, it's a beautiful cover. And I guess this is a series as well. The Love of My Afterlife, which was on my TBR list. This one, I think, a recently deceased one meets the one in the afterlife waiting room. And then it's kind of like a second chance at life and love. It just sounds very interesting and something a little different in terms of romance. So I got that one. I guess this one, I did not realize, like, the description of what I heard on TikTok and the description of what this is are very different. This is a chunker of a book. I guess this is a dark romance inspired by Danny Phantom, which I really liked that show as a kid. But I don't know how that works here, because this, to me, this looks more like a Phantom of the Opera kind of cover. And it is called Phantasma. And it says, the only thing deadlier than losing the game is losing your heart. I guess there are only 2 rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. Yeah, I guess there's like there's a paranormal dark romance element, I guess, in here. So we'll see. It seems like it's broken down kind of into nights, which was kind of how Caraval was broken up, and I really liked that. So we'll give it a shot. It's a long book. It's almost 500 pages. That's it. That's everything I've gotten this year. I'm doing good in terms of my not buying too many books. Only really doing book of the month, and like, I think I've only been to Barnes & Noble like maybe 4 times this year, which is definitely not as much as I was last year, but my birthday's coming up, so we'll see what I do with that. However, I'm traveling, so I'm sure I'll get some books while I'm away. But if you guys like this, make sure you subscribe and let me know what you're reading, and I'll see you in the next one.